This is part one of a three-part series devoted to odd size packets of playing cards. Now, if you've watched videos on my channel, very often the packets that we work with are even sized. Okay, not always, but quite often they are. Okay, now when it comes to odd size packets, there are different principles that you have to learn to have a control of the cards when you have an odd number of cards. Okay, now as I point out in the graphic on the far left, there really are three important card positions. They are the top, the middle, and the bottom. So in this part one of this series, we'll focus on the top card. So we'll be looking at ways to retain the top card on top, and then ways to move the top card to either the middle position or the bottom position. Now, I could have used any odd size packet for our illustrations in this series, but to keep the shuffling and dealing down, I decided to go with 9 cards. So that's why I have these 9 cards. And as you can see, I have an ace of spades at the top. Okay, so that's our special card that either we've noted or it's the spectator's card and we want to move it somewhere else but not lose track of where it is. Okay, so if you look at the very top of our diagram on the left, you'll see that there is a little circle that wraps around itself, kind of a little cycle here. So that's indicating that this particular shuffle will preserve the top card on top. And so let me just go ahead and kind of show you what that is. As you can see, it's U parentheses O/E. And I also wanted to point out in this series, I'll be giving you the definitions for these abbreviations. And of course, I'll be demonstrating the shuffles so that you know how to do them. So the first one that we've encountered is number 18 near the bottom. This is an up jog in which the odd position cards are set on top of the even. Okay, so let's go ahead and just illustrate that. So here I have the 9 cards. So often it's easier to push forward the even position cards, the cards in positions 2, 4, 6, 8. Now the reason for that is it gives you a card down here to kind of hold the others in place. Okay, and then you just strip these out. Now technically these are the even position cards. These are the odd. And according to the shuffle that we're going to now perform, we're going to put the odd position cards on top of the even. Okay, and so that has retained the ace of spades at the top. Okay, so that's just called an up jog in which we stack the odd position cards on top of the even. Next, we'll go ahead and look at how to move the top card to the middle position. And this will be true for any odd size packet. Now, it may be fairly small for you to read, but there's 5 of them over here. I've listed all 5. Now, there's other shuffles that will achieve this, but I've decided to go with kind of a basic list of ones that will work so as to not overwhelm the viewer. So the first one listed is a CH1, and that is a Charlier 1 shuffle. So you'll see that listed as number 5. Okay, so a Charlier 1 is where you push the top card into your other hand. The bottom single card goes on top, top card goes on bottom, bottom, top, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom. Okay, so that's called a Charlier 1. And for any odd size packet, it is guaranteed to move the original top card to the middle position. And of course, it's in the middle position because there's 4 cards above it and 4 below it. Okay, so that's called a Charlier 1. The other one here is a left-right in which we stack the left pile on top of the right. And that's number 10 on our list. Okay, so what you do here, oh, by the way, I need to move it back to the top. Now, at the end of the series, well, there's ways to move it back to the top using our shuffles, but I'm trying to not overwhelm people. Okay, so we'll start it back at the top, and now we're going to move it to the middle by way of number 10 there. So this is a left-right shuffle, left-right shuffle, in which you stack the left pile on top of the right. Left pile here goes on top of the right. This is guaranteed to move the original top card to the middle position. And there it is again in the middle position. Okay. Number 3 on our list there, let's go ahead and move our ace again, is an up jog in which we set the even position cards on top of the odd. And that's number 17 on our list. Okay, so once again, for an up jog, we'll go ahead and just do an even up jog. We'll jog forward the even position cards 2, 4, 6, 8. You strip these out. These are the even positions over here. These are the odd. For this shuffle, we're going to be stacking the even on top of the odd. That is guaranteed to always, always, always move the top card to the middle position. And so there's the ace of spades yet again. Now, number 4 on our list there is a mange shuffle of either variety. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So if you focus on shuffle 15 on the left, so a mange shuffle comes in 2 varieties, an over-under and an under-over. Well, what's really nice about the top card, it will move to the middle position regardless of which of those 2 mange shuffles you perform. Which is great because you can give the spectator the choice. You can say, well, would you like me to do an under-over or an over-under? It's your choice. Now, of course, they're going to assume that it makes a difference, and technically it does give you a different arrangement of the cards, but in the case of the top card, it will always be moved to the middle by way of either one of those mange shuffles. So let's go ahead and just do one of each. So over-under, how does that work? You push the top card into your other hand. The next card here goes over. Then the next one goes under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Okay, so the top card, which was the ace of spades, will now be in the middle position yet again. Now, if you kept track of these other cards, they're moving around. And I'm sure they've moved a lot since the original arrangement of these cards. Okay, so let's move that to the top again. And so let's go ahead and do a mange under over. Okay, so you push the top card into your other hand. Now the top card here on the right goes under. The next one goes over. Under, over, under, over, under, over. Okay, so that will also move the top card to the middle position. And then the last one here for moving the top card to the middle position is what I refer to as an Australian under-down, where it is true the true Australian shuffle is the down-under, which I also have. Okay, so that was just to associate these 2 shuffles, kind of like we did with the mange. The mange shuffle is an over-under or under-over, okay? But you're performing similar actions. Well, it's true for this under-down and down-under. Okay, and the down under is the one that often has the Australian label to it. But I've used the letter A to describe it. So the under down. Okay, so how does that work? Well, this one's often couched as a she loves me not kind of thing. You don't have to do that, but the idea is that you say she loves me not. She loves me not. Okay, or just using the name of the shuffle. This is under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down. Last one goes on top. The top card is guaranteed to now be in the middle position. There it is. Okay, so you know exactly where to find it. Okay, so that is the last one for moving the top card to the middle. Now we'll look at moving the top card to the bottom, and we'll bring this video to a close here. Okay, so if we move our cursor over here, the very first one is the left-right shuffle in which we stack the right pile on top of the left. And you can find that, that's shuffle 11 on our list. Okay, so left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Stacking the right on top of the left. That is guaranteed to move the original top card which was way up here, right, to the bottom. Okay, so now it's in the bottom position. Okay, so let's move it to the top again and take a look at our next shuffle. We'll move the top to the bottom. I have here just COAT, coat. Now that stands for count out and transfer. It's number 6. Now what this means is you can deal out any number of cards where that number of cards has to be 1 up to the packet size. Okay, so any number whatsoever. Well, you can kind of see why that would move it to the bottom. Just think about this. So right now the ace is on top. Well, if I count any to the table, like if I count 1, drop the rest on top, the ace is on the bottom. If I do like a couple more, so now I've coded 3, it's still at the bottom, and so forth. So you can deal out as many as you like, drop the rest on top. Now to the spectator, dealing out 1 card versus 7 versus 2, I mean, those are different. It changes the order of the cards. But in the case of the top card, it will actually always be moved to the bottom, regardless of how many you deal to the table first. Okay, so that's just like a general coat, I call it. C-O-A-T, count out and transfer. The third one is a Bessie 1-1. Okay, and now that's shuffle number 3. Okay, so this is a useful shuffle for a lot of reasons, actually. And I wasn't aware of a name for this, so I just gave it a name. So apologize if it has a name already and I slapped my name on it. But so a Bessie 1-1, this is where you hold the cards in biddle grip like this. And then you take the top card. It's called 1-1 because you take 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom, 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom, 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom, 1 top, bottom, top. Okay, and that's guaranteed to move the top card to the bottom. Okay, and if you just follow what that shuffle is doing, it's not surprising that it does that. But when it comes to any of these shuffles, you have to realize that you'll potentially have a card of interest either at the top, middle, or bottom, but the spectator does not know that you know that. That's the key. They don't know that you know anything. So they're not tracking like, oh, I think that shuffle just moved the top card to the bottom. No, they have no idea what you're focused on, right? Okay, so let's now move it to the top and we'll go on to our next one. We're getting close here. Okay, number 4 here is a Bessie 2-2. Okay, so once again, I have the ace on top. Okay, so a Bessie 2-2, well, it's related to a 1-1. The difference is you take 1, 2, one at a time from the top, 1, 2 from the bottom, 1, 2 from the top, 1, 2 from the bottom, and then there's only 1 card left that goes on top. Okay, and so that's guaranteed also, of course, to move the original top card to the bottom. Okay, and then the final one here is a bona fide Australian down under. Okay, and that's shuffle number 1 on our list. Okay, so how the down under, well, just think about why it would work. Oh, yeah, we need to move our ace back. Good thing I checked. So why is this going to work? If we have our ace, our special card at the top, well, what's the down under? Well, this is where the top card goes down. Next one goes under. So ace is already at the bottom. Down, under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down. Last one goes on top. That will and has, of course, moves the original top card to the bottom. Okay, so that is the Australian down under. Okay, so in our next video, we'll take a look at, starting in the middle position, what shuffles keep it there and what shuffles move it to the top or the bottom. Okay, now I'm creating this video essentially as a training video, one that I can point my subscribers to, that as I create routines, I've created some already or create new ones, where I'm using these shuffles to move cards around within odd size packets, I can just point the viewer to this shuffle demonstration here, like the one today, and they can quickly learn, okay, how do I keep the top card on top? How do I move it to the middle? How do I move it to the bottom? So it's meant to be kind of a practical, skills-based video that teaches utility moves. Okay, so how do you mechanically do things? Okay, and any of these will give the impression to the spectator that the cards almost certainly are beyond the knowledge of anyone. As they see the cards being moved around in just confusing, convoluted ways, they're going to assume, well, no one could keep track of anything. And in some ways, that's actually true. If you didn't know that these shuffles did certain things to the top card, and then when these are followed up with other shuffles where now you move it from the, let's say, from the bottom to the middle, and then the bottom again, and then to the top, there's just no way anybody could be tracking that. But you won't need to track anything. You just learn a few basic shuffles, have an idea as to where they move things, and you can easily track top, middle, and bottom card and use that information in surprising and mind-blowing ways that will really strengthen your card magic. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel, and also look for part 2 of this short series. Thank you again.